Obsidian has finally arrived after waiting for quite a long time. It gave us flashbacks and scenes from the past we have never seen before. We can also take a look towards approximately 9 years in the future, something that Come Along With Me should have shown. Here, we will review the most important things the episode left us. In the next one, we will dig more in the curiosities and hidden references. If you want to know more, get comfy and turn up the volume, because you are watching
Hero Sword.
As soon as it begins, we see little Marcy and her mother walking among the rest of the war. This means that her mother didn't die because of the explosions. After that, we move on to the Glass Kingdom, where we see that a celebration is going on, and Marceline's figure is involved. And that's how we get introduced to Glass Boy, the biggest fan of hers, who is discriminated against by a lot of people in the Glass Kingdom because he has a crack, treating him as the black sheep. Next, we see a theater play which tells in a distorted way how Marcy defeated Larbo with a song. That's how Glass Boy decides to get into Larbo's prison to prove his point, but he wakes him up and forgets the key he needed to close the door. Larbo won't stop killing all the glass people. Because of his actions, Glass Boy is in prison. Meanwhile, we can see Marcy having a nice life with Bonnie, building furniture and decorating their home. Here, we can see a lot of sugar stuff, which obviously belongs to Bonnie. As the song starts, Glass Boy is freed by someone who gives him his Marcy's toy. The one who freed him should be the Glass Princess, who really cared about Glass Boy, and she was the only one who wanted to save him and had access to the prison. While he escapes, we can see two guardians who remind me of him when he raises his eyebrows. Now, Bonnie wears glasses when she reads, and her aspect reminds me of when everyone says she was Betty. Marcy tells her that she has made a son for her, but as this son talks about her feelings for her, Marcy feels ashamed and doesn't sing. Back in the Glass Kingdom, Larbo spits eggs, which transform into glass creatures. While Glass Boy was looking for Marcy, a stranger approaches him and reveals he was just Goose, who hadn't been seen since season 5, almost 7 years, although we saw him in Elements and in the episode Fiona and Cake and Fiona. He tells him the way to find Marcy, which is the Candy Kingdom. There are no Gumball Guardians, as they were destroyed in Come Along With Me. In the Candy Kingdom, we can see Rude Burgai and Cherry Cream Soda and a Banana Guard 3000, who debuted in the last episode. In the tavern, someone is playing I Remember You, and Glass Boy gets in to find out who is singing. It was Simon. Remember that in the last episode, Simon went back to normal, and Gunther became the ice thing. Glass Boy draws Simon's attention and he takes him with Marcy. Once they get to her house, he explains that the dragon came back and that the Glass Kingdom needs her. That's how Marcy had a flashback that took her back to when she was a teen, centuries ago. The episode tells this story in a regressive way, but I'll tell it to you in a chronological way. Pippi was trying to keep Larbo under control in a dome, while Marcy was making a song. She tried showing it to Pippi, but as she was so focused, Pippi told Marcy to stop bothering her. Marcy told her, with indifference, that the Glass Kingdom will eventually break because it was made of glass, but Pippi wanted to protect it no matter what. The discussion broke Marcy, and she improvised a song that is just a diss to Bonnie, and with the same song, she managed to intimidate Larbo, so he went back to his cave. All the Glass Kingdom started glorifying Marcy as if she had cared about them, and left Bonnie behind, who really cared. And that's how they stopped talking to each other and wouldn't become friends again until the episode What Was Missing. That's the reason why Marcy finds uncomfortable to visit the Glass Kingdom, as she is in a relationship with Bonnie, and that only brings her back memories. Anyway, she ends up accepting. Once they are gone, the glass creatures find Marcy's house, and when they break in, we see Simon dressed up as the Ice King and acting like him. This means that he has a disorder due to the transformation and that he misses being the Ice King, which is really sad, as everyone was happy when Simon came back. But he really wanted that? Was Betty's sacrifice worth it? On their way to the Glass Kingdom, they pass by the old Marcy's house trailer, where she lived with her mom, and we see a flashback. This episode shows us what happened with them, but with some interrupted scenes. Here, I'll tell you how everything happened chronologically. According to the subtitles, Marcy's mom's real name is Elsie, so we'll call her like that from now on. They were inside of a house trailer, which had already been seen in a flashback in the Stakes, but in that flashback, we saw by the window and they were near a field or something similar, meaning that it happened before the Great War, while this flashback is set after the Great War, and Elsie is much more damaged by the radiation. She is helping Marcy with a map, making a panda who is very similar to Party Pat. As they walk, we see a lot of creatures affected by the radiation. A cool scorpion, a body with swag, and a three-eyed wolf, who speaks as well. Elsie is scared by the wolf, and she punches the wolf using a stick, and his mother roars, as no one messes up with her kid. She has 2 mouths, maybe 3. The wolf is about to kill Elsie, but Marcy stands up and sucks the mother's soul, which reminded me of Raven a little bit. Marcy ate the wolf mother's soul, and she leaves the wolf in a vegetative state. They get to a gas station looking for some stuff they needed, and when Marcy sees the things that were written there, she asks Elsie if she is a monster. Elsie tries to answer, but all of a sudden she coughs, and we see that she coughed blood. She understands she doesn't have much time left, so she sends Marcy to an old bunker where she used to work and gives her an ID card. Marcy gets there, and we see a lot of bodies despite the bunker being full of food. The ones who were inside still died. Maybe they lacked water, or a strange creature killed them, because when Marcy gets there, we see the bunker door opened. Marcy makes new friends, and she sings a song to them. After a while, they start talking to her, which reminded me of the alternative reality of Fu, where the old Marcy hallucinated that Simon's body was talking to her. Marcy thinks she's talking to the boxes, and they tell her that it's her fault that her mom and dad left her alone, telling her that she scares everybody away, just like her dad, which is interesting because she never met him, but maybe her mother told her stories about him, and then she told Simon, and that's how Simon called him to take care of Marcy when he abandoned her, as we saw in the Stakes. The same conversation with the boxes inspired Marcy to keep on making music, and this is the end of the little Marcy story. After Marcy and Bonnie get to the Glass Kingdom, Marcy fights against the crystal creatures and defeats them with music, but when she tries doing the same with Larvo, it doesn't work, so Bibi calls Morum, who brings her the dome machines. When Marcy saw her song wasn't effective, she decided to go to her origins to get some inspiration. She decides to go to the bunker and discover what that red light was. It was a message her mother left her just a few seconds before she died. While Marcy is in a touching moment, Glassboy arrives, and they both fight against the crystal creature, which is now more powerful. Sadly, this creature breaks Marcy's base, so she returns with Bibi, who hasn't been able to keep Larvo under control, and he's destroying everything. Glassboy makes Larvo chase him and runs in the cave. The other crystal people turn the dome to its max power, but this overcharges and explodes, trapping Marcy, Bibi, and Glassboy inside. They realize they won't get out soon, so Marcy decides to play her song to Bibi. She thinks about how much she loves her, and that she's not afraid of showing her feelings anymore, although that makes her look weak. The song reminds Larvo of his origins. In the flashback, we see how a mutant creature ate his brothers, and he was the only one who made it alive. He still got a crack made by the mutant creature. He manages to get into a cave full of magma, and he mutates into a lava creature using the cave as a refuge. When Marcy finished the song, Bibi kisses her, and Larvo gets up. He was feeling sad because of the song, and shows his crack to them, which was hidden by a rock. This finally lets him free and abandons the dragon form, and his animal spirit comes out, a flying cat, who gets out of the cave to spread joyness, and turns the glass creatures into cat butterflies. The explosion cracked. She threw a princess, and she shows that it's okay to have cracks. The rest of the crystal people start showing their cracks too, and showing themselves as how they really are, and not hiding their defects. Simon arrives with help, but it's too late. From the van, some banana gods get off, then Bronwyn, who is Jake's granddaughter, and Finn's niece, and finally, Finn the human. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, we get to see Finn the human as an adult for the first time. Now he's 26 approximately, and it looks like he was calling in the middle of a shower, so he didn't have time to dress up. In his chest, we can appreciate a big Jake with flowers tattoo, meaning that the TV's favorite dog has died. We gotta remember that in the series, Jake was very old, and he didn't have much time with the people he loved and knew, so this was predictable. The next year, Together Again will be released on HBO Max. It will tell us the last Finn and Jake great adventure, so probably in that episode we will see how Jake died. Obsidian ends with a celebration party, and we see Simon dancing with a crystal person, meaning that he is learning to get over Betty and continuing with his life. In the end, we see a flashback that shows us how Phoebe and Marcy met. It was in a Marcy's concert. Here, Marcy throws her t-shirt to Bonnie, and that's how they started their friendship. Also, we finally know how Phoebe got that Marcy's t-shirt. In this video, I told you some of the hidden references, but in the next one, I'll tell you all of the secrets and some theories of mine. This one is more focused on explaining the story and giving my first impressions. So, let's wait until the next video.